Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining the System Performance Committee. It's July 15th, 2 p.m. I do want to hang just for 1 minute to see if our chair, Christina Sawicki, is joining. I'm going to give a quick note, a message, see if we've got any issues there.
I don't see her. And I'm going to make Curtis the host. Okay. Okay, Curtis, you should be the host.
Okay, so I sent a message to Christina. Catherine, in absence of the chair, do you know what the current charter requires?
Yeah, I believe a motion needs to be made for.
Pro Tem.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, there's Christina.
Oh, great. Perfect. That solves that. Shauna, you made it on time.
Just barely.
Right. And then Curtis, you don't need to unmic. I'm sure you're working on getting attendees moved over or what you need to. So that's great.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Okay.
Christina, are you you have audio working?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you want to kick us off?
No, I do not.
Okay, then are you suggesting a motion for pro tem for today?
Tamara can do it.
Okay, we'll just want to get a motion and then
Tamara's the co-chair. She could do it.
I'm actually not a formal co-chair because I was never in like voted in to the position. But I would be happy to facilitate today if that's helpful. Yeah.
I'm still quite upset and it's made me quite so sick from yesterday.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'd be happy to take over for this session. Welcome, everyone. I actually don't have the agenda pulled up in front of me, but thank you for joining us today, July 15th, which is actually my son's birthday. So I'm celebrating with you all. That should show you how much I love you. But he's also at summer school. So, and anyways, I am grateful for your presence. And I think we start off with reading the theory of change and the land acknowledgement. Does anyone want to take that one of those pieces on? I still don't have the agenda pulled up in front of me.
just before we start, and Tamara, thank you so much, and Christina, thank you for sharing that and being so candid with us. And Tamara, of course, for helping. I do want to just make sure we get through that procedural step of a motion and then appointing Tamara pro tem just for today. Just so we have a clear record of that, please.
This is Ruby.
Marvin.
Marvin, go ahead.
I'll make the motion, or I was going to second you doing so, but either way, I make the motion for Tamara to be co-chair pro tem for this meeting.
Yeah, and I'll second that. I'll second that. This is Ruby. Thanks.
Okay, Curtis, do you want to kick off the roll call for that vote?
Yes, I can. Okay. Thank you everyone for coming out today. All right. I will stop at the top of the list and move my way down. Tamara,
Is this for roll call or the vote?
for
sorry.
roll call. We
For roll
need to
call.
make
Here.
sure we establish quorum first.
Oh,
So,
yes. Sorry about that. Yes, I'm here.
okay, thank you. Sherry,
Here.
Ruby,
Present.
Marvin, we know you're here, Marvin. You're on mute. I see you, buddy. I got you. Christina,
Here,
Ben,
I'm here.
thank you. Victoria, okay. And Mustafa,
Here.
thank you. And Shauna,
Here.
thank you so much. We have quorum, ladies and gentlemen.
And then,
Sorry, I have to not multitask. Sorry, this is Tamara.
and then
Um,
Curtis, just the buttoning up that vote for the pro tem.
Oh, okay. All right. Give me 2 seconds while I situate that. Okay. All right. I will start at the top. Tamara,
Abstain.
Sherry,
I'm sorry, what are we doing?
The motion is to have Tamara be co-chair pro temp for this meeting. I made the
Oh,
motion, Ruby seconded.
yes, I.
thank you. Ruby,
Yes.
okay. Marvin,
Aye.
Christina,
yes,
thank you. Ben,
Aye.
thank you. Mustafa
Aye.
and Shauna,
Aye.
thank you so much. Our motion passes unanimously.
Fabulous. Thank you for that. I think the next step is for a volunteer to read the theory of change and the land acknowledgement before moving into public comment.
Can we maybe put the agenda on the screen? Sorry, I'd read
Be
it.
helpful. Thank you, Ruby.
Curtis, is that something that you could do? I only ask because I have some notes and I only have one screen at the moment. And I could send you the link, Curtis. Unless you already have the agenda pulled up. Would really appreciate it.
I have the agenda pulled up now. So I'd be happy to read the theory of change, which reads, if we create a homelessness response system that centers the voices of people with lived experience of homelessness, then we can focus on responding to needs and eliminating inequities to end homelessness for all. And I don't think we should probably print the land acknowledgement on the agenda as well, if that's something we want to include regularly. I'd also suggest maybe some community agreements, but for now, I think the next section is to introduce public comment. Are there any hands raised in the public section?
Well, I was going to offer a land acknowledgement.
Oh, thank you. Yes, yes,
I
thank you.
think it's always meaningful and purposeful for us to understand we are seated on the unceded lands of the coastal Sahelish peoples, especially the Duwamish, in which many of our buildings sit on today. We must recognize the trauma and violence throughout time that has relegated the first people of this area and ensure that does not occur for all of those who now call this land home. Thanks.
Thank you, Marvin. Appreciate that. Next, I believe we're moving into public comment. Are there is there anyone in the public who would like to make public comment? Oh, I see, Mike Mathias.
And just a quick admin here. Curtis, can you look into getting folks unmiked in the attendees so they can participate in the public comment? I believe that's a host privilege there.
You said unmute them?
Yeah, for public comment, we've got at least one hand raised in the attendees list. Mike.
Okay, Mike should be able to talk.
Have you mic'd Mike? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Great. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate the time. I was just wanting to raise a concern that I have related to a coordinated entry property that we are attempting to nominate clients in through coordinated entry. And I was just hoping to get some more information on how the lease-up process works for that property, specifically Sweetgrass Flats, operated by Chief Seattle Club. There's just been some delays in the process between nomination through coordinated entry and then lease-up for those clients. We just kind of want a better understanding of what that process looks like so we can hopefully expedite the lease-ups for 14 individuals that we've nominated that are waiting on empty units right now. So this is probably an aside, but I was hoping to connect with the committee on how we might be able to help improve that process going forward. That's all. So thank you for hearing me out.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. And I definitely want to follow up on that. And I'm certain the co-chair of the System Performance Committee would, as well as the rest of the members of the group. I think we're going into, I'm sorry, before we move on, is there anybody else who would like to make comment? And the chat should be open for the remainder of the meeting if anyone would like to make comment. Okay.
And really quick, can we bring a motion to approve June
minutes.
meeting minutes?
Yes.
I move that we approve the meeting minutes from the prior month, which was June.
A second.
Perfect. Okay. I'll go down the list. Tamara,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Ruby,
Sorry, yes.
Marvin,
Yes.
Christina, Can you hear us, Christina?
Yes,
Okay, thank you. Ben,
Yes.
Victor. Okay, Victoria is still not present. Mustafa
Yes.
and Shauna.
I have to abstain because I haven't read them.
Okay. All right, everyone. June minutes have, motion for June minutes, has passed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Curtis. Next on the agenda, looks like we have updates from the co-chairs, board committee updates, work group updates. Does anybody on the committee want to go first with an update? Well,
Um,
oh, go ahead, please.
yeah, I was gonna just offer that we do have some updates. However, we had the convening yesterday and I'm just not prepared to provide those notes. I should have been prepared and I'm not. But I do know that we will have a board meeting coming up on August 10th, I believe, and we're still we've been really busy with the NOFO, and we did have some elections happen, and so there will be new board members attending at that August meeting. Yeah, I know there's a couple other updates. I'm sorry, I'm not prepared. I apologize. Thank you.
No worries, thank you. And I think, yeah, the charter work group, to be honest, yeah, there's a lot of the things that that are in this update that relate to the continuum of care convening yesterday. One thing I did want to point out right now is that I'm actually not a co-chair. I am at this point like a COC board member slash COC member. I don't know if that's helpful or not, but that's just, I wanted to provide clarity around that. I'm trying to practice more transparency and relational governance. So I hope that is helpful. But we do need like a formal co-chair to work with Christina on like standing up the best system performance committee possible for the community. So I guess that's just what I wanted to elevate. And I am curious about Mike's experience with coordinated entry and that particular property. I'm wondering if there's opportunity to create a relationship, partnership with that that particular organization, or we probably already have a partnership, but with that particular property, and coordinated. Anyways, I'm thinking out loud, but I want to see if there's a way to create a relationship to help expedite people's move-in. Is there any other discussion on this section?
Actually, I do want to say that the property yesterday was beautiful, and we were so blessed to have had the Muckleshoot tribe offer us their location for that convening. It was a very serene and beautiful people, beautiful place, and I just wanted to provide that update. I just didn't have time to prepare actual notes to provide, so I just didn't want to go without saying that. And thanks, Tamara, for understanding and for stepping in today.
Of course, thank you. And like I'm still floating on the high of that experience, that life experience in that space. I felt deeply rooted in the earth there, and the looking at the mountain from the second floor. It was almost like spiritual. So I love that experience, and I hope we can have more of those in places that are more convenient for folks, but as beautiful, like as equally beautiful in their natural beauty. Anyways, I'm going off into tangents, but yeah, thank you for that. And it was a beautiful environment. I think we can move to the next section again, unless anybody has questions or comments. Alrighty.
I
Can you scroll down? Oh,
I was just gonna say really quick, I just on what Ruby said and Tamara, what you said also as well, is that taking that field trip, that was so awesome. And just to know all the things that they're really doing and what's working is just awesome. Like I kind of told everybody when I got back, I was just like, man, that's so awesome.
no, I loved it. I don't know. For the first time, I'm sorry, this is a side note, but I had to say it. Like somebody pointed out to me that if you look at the Mount Rainier at a certain angle, you can see like the shape outline of a woman's face. And I saw it for the first time when she pointed it out to me. And I've lived here almost my whole life. So the things you learn every day. Okay, so the next section looks like, can we scroll up a little bit? Looks like an update on the youth housing demonstration program grant update.
Yes, that is an update that I wanted to give the group. And I'm gonna attempt to share my screen here and hopefully I'm gonna take this away from you, Curtis, here.
No problem. I'll stop sharing. No.
Did that come through? Is that come up? Let me try that one more time. How's that? Is that coming through?
Yes.
Okay. And then this isn't anything that anyone got in advance. It's just I put together some information and I'll post this after the meeting so folks can look through it. I just want to give an update to the committee that we applied for, and right now we're going through the local competition for YHDP and HMIS NOFO funds, and the research and data team applied for an HMIS expansion grant as part of the YHDP. We identified that there is a need to improve our technology practices and governance for some of the data tools that we're producing to help with matching young people with interventions and beds and units. If you're able to see this, I know it's a little small. Just simply put, we know that there is a need, which is that problem statement there. We see the numbers in our most recent point in time count, that we have an enduring need to address youth homelessness. And then in terms of the YHDP grant, we identified 4 system gaps that we're hoping to cover with those grant funds, which is monitoring performance and supporting the build out of assessment and prioritization tools, inflow counting, and supporting collaboration between different partners so that we can feed into our by name list and use some of those best practices to identify and support young people to housing. And then the other third gap is a clear understanding of our youth dedicated beds. This grant would help us to do that work so that we know all of our inventory. We do that every year. We know how many beds and units we have. We have to report that to HUD. But there's more nuance to that. Not every program that has youth serving beds is primarily a youth serving provider, and not all youth serving providers, we may not know all their supports. So being able to know those beds and units and the referral pathways on how folks get into those units will help us to do that work more quickly and get those interventions more quickly for youth. So that's the third one. And then number 4 is sort of policy and governance. If you had to categorize that, where we want to look at what are our standards, how do we manage by name list, how do we write up policies for street youth outreach, integrating best practices and guidelines. So all that needs to be figured out as we produce tools to help get youth and young adults housed in our community. So making sure that we have all of those policies in place and protections and rights. So that was really the approach there. And then in the grant, we have some deliverables, which is you can see here on the left-hand side. how we would be measuring that success if we were to get this grant. And you can see there, it's basically what I described above, having all those tools in place and working to onboard more youth providers. If you have any questions for me, let me know. You can unmic and ask. And just wanted to inform the committee, yeah, we're hoping to get some more funding to continue our work in the youth space.
Hey, Daniel, this is Ruby.
Hi,
You
Ruby.
said that, hey, so you said that this is a HMIS specific youth grant or is it?
Yeah, this is under the Youth Homeless Demonstration Project grant. It's a youth-focused federal grant called YHDP typically. And this is separate from the community YHDP competition for providers who are looking for funding. This actual grant is only available for the HMIS lead to apply for. And it's separate from the funding of programs and service providers separately.
Cool. And are we planning on partnering with, I'm sure like with our youth action board and things like that to get because I'm sure they have a lot of connections with youth leadership and stuff like that to do outreach.
Yes, absolutely. Youth participating in the work that we do. They're at the center of our designs in terms of technology, and we have ways in which we're elevating those youth voices into the work that we do by attending the YAB, the Youth Collaborative, and HMIS specifically. We have our annual survey, so we're getting inputs in a lot of different ways and hearing those voices to kind of answer that. That said, if there's more work to be done there, you all are representing the different stakeholders that you do. Certainly want to hear from you too, how we can make sure that we're doing that should we get this grant, and continue to want to include those youth voices. Yeah. Hopefully I captured your question, Ruby. I don't know if that was a question or much a comment, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that was it answered my question and my comment. Thank you.
And both of those are active. Our Youth Action Board are active, and our Youth Collaborative is also active. And just a footnote here, we have a lot of experience on the research and data team when it comes to youth and at KCRHA. Many of you maybe have met Kiki Sorrentes, who has worked in the youth space, worked with the Way Home Washington. We have Claire Gilmet, who is she's our product manager, also basically a data engineer, who has also worked closely on with building changes and funding that has come from there. And I myself have worked locally with the Anchor Community Initiative, 100-Day Challenge with Youth. We have another engineer on our team who is actively working with the YAB and the Youth Collaborative. So we're already in this. We're already doing this. We already find this important, and we're hoping that this investment will come through so that we can continue to do that work. I'll stop sharing. If there's any other questions, let me know. That was just an update for the committee.
Well, I think you're next on the agenda with the HMIS NOFO update.
Oh, yes, that continue to go there. So this is just an update that we our team internally here, sorry, just kind of gathering how I want to kind of inform you all about this. This is the annual HMIS renewal for the NOFO, which every year we reapply for that. We are a tier 1 project, so that gives us pretty good chances we'll get renewed in the next funding year. So just letting you all know, we renewed that, applied for that, met all the deadlines, and now it's up to the local competition process to see what that where we rank in that. And then, of course, we'll be waiting on what HUD's final amount is that they're giving the community, and from there, though, budgets will be adjusted likely depending on what HUD comes out with in the final figures. But yeah, just informing the committee, got that renewal in, like we do every year. So that's the status update on that.
Thank you, Daniel. And unless there's questions, we'll keep moving forward. We're like right on time. I think the next session belongs to Daniel and Victoria to talk about the policy review, check-in and updates.
Yeah. Okay, so I kind of want to let my hair down here a little bit, roll up my sleeves. This is more kind of a working session discussion here. So we started the policy review, started talking about that 2 months ago. You all got the project plan for that. Thank you for everyone that signed up and is the point of contact for each of those policy domains. This is a time for us to this is going to be iterative. We may not always need this much time, but I wanted to put in some time for us to talk about that plan. How are folks feeling about their sections? I have some milestones in there on when we ought to have that reviewed so that we can vote on approving those new policies. I've put the roles and responsibilities in that project plan that you all received on who's doing what in that. And my role there is once I get the feedback and we finalize that, I rewrite the policy and make those edits if needed, and then bring that back here for a vote from all of you. And right now on the timeline, Victoria, thank you so much for getting back to me. And we can start with your input there, what you reviewed. But really, I kind of want to hear from everyone where you're at. How are you doing? How can I support you? Is there anything that's not clear? And there's no question or ask here that's too small or too big. And if you feel like you're not briefed or caught up, this is also a time to get you realigned and get you back on the road and going forward so we can get this done by the end of the year. With that, Victoria, do you want to talk a little bit about, oh, Victoria wasn't able to make it today, huh? Okay, well, that's unfortunate. I thought I saw Victoria, but now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if we got her in roll call. So Victoria did give me some input on one of the policies that she reviewed. I haven't gone into detail on that. I was hoping she was going to join to go over that. That said, I'll just open it up. Does anyone else have any updates on what you're working on? And I'm going to bring up my notes here to see kind of who we've got next in queue.
I'm sorry,
Already
were we
sent-
waiting? Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Sherry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I kind of sent you part of mine on the one topic that I was working on, the coordinated entry for all. I don't have it in front of me right now. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Sherry, I did get your notes too. Yes. That's right. You looked over the CEA coordinated entry for all policy. Yeah, what'd you see? How'd that go?
Just felt like, because I don't have it in front of me, but most everything was still good. I think electronically it shows like the mailing, like it has where you post the mail, like because now everybody is kind of more electronic. Maybe there's some option there that maybe we can try to see more ways for folks to be able to mail in instead of just mail possibly. Languages, is everything in different languages? That's kind of what I got off my head besides what I sent you, since I don't have it in front of me. I mean, I guess I could put up my email though.
Yeah, okay. So you saw some things about maybe we can digitize some of the processes in there, modernize it a bit, and I'll look over those notes here this week. So I'll have that more. Okay. How did you feel about just reviewing it? Did you feel like you had something to push off of to what you were doing, or did it feel do you feel like you had enough tools on what you were looking for? Areas of focus, did that come easy for you?
I would say not at first, but I kind of got a guideline, and that kind of helped me. And as I said, like in the email, and I think the guideline that I have will kind of help me on each step, like where's the gaps, kind of just itemizing it out. It will help. It helps me kind of more to kind of look at stuff and put it more in perspective, to share the ideas and thoughts around it.
Okay.
Because at
Great.
first it was just kind of hard. And then too, I think the acronyms, like maybe putting it out what that means, even though, we all know what some of those means, but some folks may not. It's something that I kind of caught too.
That's a good one. I do, no pressure. I do see though that there were two other ones hoping to get your eyes on, which is the HMIS privacy statement, the one that sits on the desk for folks.
Yes.
The client should be able, the household, whoever they're serving, should be able to read. And then that COVID-19 notification,
Yes.
just looking for some input on, is that still relevant? I know, Christina, you had said, hey, maybe we can just update it with a general, infectious disease type notice, and keep it relevant.
Yeah. I am going to work on that too as well. I'm going to use kind of the same guidelines, like like I was saying, just to kind of help me go through it. So I am going to do that. I just was we have so many projects at work. I started kind of looking at the CEA maybe week before last, and then put a little bit, and then last week, or put the guideline together. And then maybe last week kind of adding some stuff, and then this morning adding some stuff. So yes, I will have those other two done as well. So I'm still working on that. I feel like I'm almost finished with the CEA, and then I'm going to work on the other two.
Okay,
Because
great.
I have till August, right?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you all are the committee. You drive the work forward. So if we need to adjust timelines, I just gave us something to work off of.
Okay.
Knowing is, quite ambitious, but so I think if we need to revisit timelines as we get further into the year, we can absolutely do that. Ruby, if I can, unless there's something else, Sherry, I know Ruby, I've got you kind of on deck coming up, quite a big checklist of things to read over. How are you doing? Is the workload realistic? Should we revisit that? I've got, looks like 4 policies on your queue.
Yeah, that is correct. You do, Daniel. And I think that I am shifting into this work now. As I was kind of talking with you briefly yesterday, we only had a few moments together. I was explaining that I was behind on this project and was getting started on it ASAP, but I'd be happy to, let one or two of those go to somebody that felt like they were more, had less on their plate, if somebody could offer that. But I'm happy to get those done by the deadline. It just have not begun my project yet, and I apologize about that, Daniel.
Yeah, and I want to make sure too that it's clear that what I'm hoping to get from you all at the committee is your scrutiny on these policies. Read them through. They don't have to be structured notes. I mean, of course, I want a little bit of like grounding on what you're speaking to, but jot them down, send them to me. Even ideas, something that I can try to encapsulate in an edit process for them, and see if there are things that we are, we should be updating in those. And I'm really not asking you to be a compliance officer or a lawyer. I Ruby, just does it make sense? Is it relevant? Are there some glaring issues that you're like, oh yeah, this needs to be this I looked through this and this isn't the process we follow anymore. Things like that are and also the secondary effect is getting you all exposure to these policies. So the stronger you are at understanding our policies, the stronger our oversight is of the work that we do for the community with the HMIS.
Sure. Yeah, no, and I totally am in agreement with that. I want to make sure that I was just being transparent with you and letting you know that I have not looked over them yet. But hey, I'm only human, so thank you.
Yeah. In that email for everybody, you'll see the list of policies for each individual. If committee members wouldn't mind, or Tamara as the chair, if you could maybe support people looking at that and seeing if they could take one or two off of Ruby's plate. That would be great to share the many hands make light work.
You got it. I mean, I'd be happy to take one or two off your plate. If you want to just send me the worst ones that you don't like, right?
Oh, and I didn't mean you directly, Tamara. I meant just if,
No,
like
I'm
if,
just
if
kidding.
everyone could yeah. Great. Okay, Ruby, we'll try to help you out. No promises.
I wouldn't expect any. It's okay. Thank you.
Okay, well, I think that's pretty much it on who I wanted to check in with at the very least. Opening it up for anyone else. How are you feeling about just policy review overall? Any more comments, notes, or thoughts coming up for folks?
Yeah, this is Tamara. I'm trying to do all things through a well-being lens. So when I'm looking at policies or like forms or any kind of project or issue that's in front of me, I'm trying to look at it through both the lens of lived and living experience of homelessness, but also well-being, which is obviously what I'm all about. But I'm hoping that people over time will recognize that it's a universal drive for well-being. And so if we're looking at policies and systems change, I want maybe for us not to go towards the prescriptive and more towards like, how are we actually moving people towards well-being, and how are we shaping our systems to support that? And yeah, so I have so many things that I would like to present to this group and to larger membership that I think would be helpful in terms of supplementing the quantitative piece that we often talk about in this space, but also the qualitative piece, the storytelling, the narratives that actually give those numbers meaning. Because looking at any social issue by numbers alone doesn't tell the whole story. So I also encourage folks to just look at it through an intersectional lens. Like, think about how, if you have lived experience, how that has impacted your life, your worldview, your perspective on policies, and how that has impacted you, your ancestors, and your descendants. I'm going off into, again, more tangents. I'm a dreamer and a vision person, but I'm wanting to infuse more relational, intersectional, well-being oriented systems. And I think we can do that by modeling that for the rest of the community, and remembering our community values, our values and priorities. And we cannot let any distractions deter us from the larger mission, the larger goal of solving homelessness and intergenerational trauma. That is my soapbox, and I am sticking to it. Thank you. Shauna?
Thanks. I think we kind of got off of Daniel's question, but I did want to follow up with what you just said, because it's something that I mentioned before. And so I guess I just want to say it in a different way as everybody's reviewing the policies, that I think it's very important for us all to look at ways in the policies about how we can decolonize the data, because Systems Performance Committee is all about data. And we do it from a very white, superior culture, Western culture kind of way. And so, you just mentioned descendants, and, we have a huge Indigenous population in this area, in our region, in part of RHA, and their data comes through stories. So I would just love us all as we're doing our respective little sections, if we can keep that in mind and maybe brainstorm ways that we can lean into that a little bit more. We're never going to get it fully, but baby steps.
I appreciate hearing from both of you on that. And yeah, we certainly are using a government framework. And I think you're right, Shauna, to point out there's history behind how that framework was created. And I'm glad it's both of you, because I was just going to say, you two are next on deck for next month on the policies that have been assigned. So let me know if you have questions, if you're not clear on which ones, and I can get that list back to you. Tamara, I saw you raise your hand. Before
Oh
I say
yeah.
more.
I love, and I've been thinking about decolonizing data for years now, and I love that that it's gaining traction, and that we're actually talking about disaggregating data between, you know, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islanders, and Asian Americans. Like the disaggregation of that tells a story that is more nuanced than what our institutions want us to like categorize. So I think well-being is a decolonizing mindset that we blend with this intersectional analysis. Again, I'm sorry to be getting on my soapbox, but I think just to promote the idea of the universal drive that we all, like humans need, not just to thrive, but to survive. I just want that to be like the center as we're decolonizing, actively decolonizing the data, but also our minds, our culture, our systems, our policies. That is well-being, because we're supporting the universal drive for well-being and the change starts with our consciousness. And that's, again, I'm off my soapbox this time for sure. And we can move on.
Any other members? Shauna?
Just a quick question. Does everybody on the committee know what we mean when we're talking about disaggregating data and decolonizing data? Because if not, I think it might be really valuable to bring someone in and do like a short, like at one of our meetings, do a short presentation on what that means and how we can be more inclusive in the data that we collect and report and use to make decisions about homelessness.
Wouldn't Daniel be the perfect person to do that? The data manager for KCRHA?
I would just love to say I'd love to get that presentation. So whoever it may be, Daniel might be the right person. That probably is, but I think we would absolutely adore a presentation like that.
I'm certainly no expert in that. I definitely have read a lot of literature. I know Linda Smith Tuani has a decolonizing research methodologies. That's a kind of a foundational book for this sort of topic. But the history of data analytics goes back, pre-civil rights. You can see things early 19th century on these kind of topics. So I don't feel like an expert on it, but I think I could, if someone wants to help, I think we can find someone who would be willing to come and talk about that for sure. Happy to support that.
I'd love to help.
I'm in my doctoral program, and we're learning all about quantitative and qualitative data and how to use it. I could probably bring some material. I mean, I could easily bring some material. I'm not an expert, but I'm maybe a doctoral student level expert with data and what it means and how it can be used.
Perfect, absolutely. And then Ben, did I miss something there? Were you thinking that like there was some like when you were thinking of me to do the presentation, were you thinking more like the manager should be the one? I just want to make sure I'm not missing a requirement you were thinking of or something.
Oh, no, I'm not. So I don't know. I mean, it just seems like what is your title? Data systems administrator or something?
Data asset manager. Yeah.
So whether or not you feel like an expert, your professional credential, I think
I see what you're
which
saying. Yeah,
puts you in that category. So
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
I put
Great.
this in the chat, but Sarah Levin does a unit on decolonizing data. And she, has been involved in the homeless service arena for years and years in United Way, King County. So she would probably donate her time. I'm speaking for her, or anyone else from the Evans School, because they do a lot of that. And again, I'd be happy to help you, Daniel.
I love the support here. This is the exact kind of thing that gets my engine going. So yes, absolutely. Let's do a quick check-in on this offline. Ben, Shauna, myself, and whoever else may want to be involved, and let's get something together. Let's get someone in here to help us understand those concepts better. I think you're right. It'll drive for better policies too if we're aligned with our principles, values, and we've got the knowledge. And just a reminder, I think this is a shared value, that data driven. We're leading with evidence-based practices, things that we can point back to as our source for why we do what we do. Ruby, you had your hand up.
Yeah, just a quick, speaking of support here, that I love the collaboration that I'm hearing in this group, and I love to see the support from other members and wanting to be offering materials, and I just love it. So I'm hoping that we can have this be a really beautiful conversation when we get to it. Thank you.
I also want to just keep us, focused on the goal here. Let's review the policies that we have. We got to get those updated. We want to be in compliance. We want to make sure that we're beyond reproach as we are stewards of public funds and reporting what we have to, and have the policy infrastructure that we're required to have to keep folks safe, and all the data privacy and security items that we need to do. And then I think it's important also to keep in mind the vision. We have some upcoming things that we probably I know we will have to address. There's, I think, growing concern on the use of AI and that technology with HMIS. I'll share that other vendors outside of BitFocus are integrating those tools, so those communities are getting pressure to have that. We may have an opportunity to get ahead of that for ourselves, but time is rolling. There are other issues too that I'm sure are important for all of you. So if we can get done with what we have to here, and we can move on to start laying the foundation for strong governance in the future as well. Any other thoughts as we move to the 3 o'clock hour? Marvin, Mustafa, Becky.
I'm good, thank you.
Very interesting conversation. I too enjoyed the collaboration on how to move forward. I don't want us to miss that it is decolonizing how we collect the data. We have worked under an extractive system for a long time. And if someone doesn't identify the gaps where we can create change, I think we'll continue to miss it. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Marvin. Everyone seems very supportive of learning more about that topic. I think great. We'll bring that to bear as we do these policy reviews. Let's not forget the hard deadlines. Ruby, will reach out and see if we can get some of that taken off your plate. So I know you're a busy person, so we can get some support for you. And then Shauna and Tamara, I know you two have some upcoming policies that you're reviewing. Send me some emails, guys. Let me know what you're doing so I can support, and I'm reading along with you, and we can banter back and forth. Again, it doesn't need to be formal, and just say, hey, I'm reading this section. I was wondering this. And then I'll take all those edits make sure that we're aligning our policies with what we're actually doing in real life, write those and bring them to vote. So that'll start happening very soon here after July. With that, I think that kind of ends the section on our policy review. Thank you, everybody, for doing your part. And I think why don't we go to break and come back in 3:10. I'm sorry, Tamara. I think I just took your role as chair.
Oh, no worries. Actually, was there one more thing about the committee recruitment and application review and candidate vote,
Oh.
or do we want to wait until after the break for
Oh.
that?
I'm sorry. I may have gotten ahead of myself. Let me go back.
Can we go to break? And then come back?
Yes, let's go to
sounds good
break
to
and come
me.
back. Yes.
Second.
Do we need to make a motion for that? Okay, thank goodness. All right. See you at 3:10. Okay, it just turned 3:10 on my clock. If people are back, can they send an emoji or come off camera for a second and just let us know you're here? Cool.
I'm here, Tamara.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
And just an update, my audio was a little bit different than it was just a few minutes ago, so might have some glitchiness as I start out, but it should get better. I also
Cool.
wanted to say that the agenda got some times transposed. I'm sorry about that, everybody. Our normal break time is 3, but the agenda had 3:10. Apologies for that.
No worries. I think if there are no questions or anything, we can move into that the conversation we were gonna have before the break about the committee recruitment.
Yeah, and if I could start. Victoria, thank you for joining us on the second half of the meeting today. Really appreciate you. I wanted to give you a little bit of time. I know I got an email from you that you'll be stepping down from the committee, and I wanted to give you a few minutes to mention that if you wanted.
Sure, yeah. I think I've mentioned at a previous meeting that I'm going to be going on parental leave soon. And given that and the fact that I've been on this committee for a number of years now, I thought it'd be a good time for me to step back and open up the space for others. I really appreciate the time being on this committee and working with everyone, and wish everyone the best.
Thank you so much for all you've done and for your service. And we hope we will continue seeing you somewhere in the community. And congratulations in advance.
Thank you so much. Yep, I'm planning to stay with King County, continuing to do data work around homeless response system. So I'll be around.
Excellent. Good. Okay.
Always
I'll hand
reach
it over
out.
to you. Oh, sure.
Sorry, can I just say I'll always reach out if you need anything too, you know, and I hope everything goes well and congratulations.
Yeah, Victoria, thank you so much for your time and just your knowledge that you brought to bear on the committee. I really appreciate you. I also want to turn a little bit to operations, Victoria. Last thing for you, I guess. Victoria has some policies that were under review, and we'll need to redistribute those to make sure we get those to the finish line. I can work on some suggestions after the meeting, so I can send it out in an email, something we can do on the side. But just wanted to let everyone know we'll need to do that. And thank you, Victoria, again for everything. Okay, Tamara, if you're okay with it, can we move to the application review of those that turned one in for the System Performance Committee?
Yeah.
Great. I'm going to hand it over to Curtis, who's going to handle this part of it because there's going to be some voting going on. And I want to just say thank you, Becky, for joining today, especially specifically Becky, you, because you've come back. I think this will be your second time now. And we needed to recalibrate how we were doing our applications since we had some come in recently and we wanted to do it all in one go. So thank you, Becky, for your patience in returning today. I'll hand it over to you, Curtis.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. So currently, it looks like we have 3 of the potential new SPC members join with us today. So what I will ask is that we will give you each about 1 to 2 minutes to give a brief little bio about yourself to the committee members and give them the opportunity to get to know a little bit about you. So, Becky, we heard from you and we'll hear from you again today, but I'll go down the list of the new people and then bring you back around. Ellen, can you hear me?
Yes, I sure can.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us today. Would you like to please tell the members a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I sure would. Hi, everyone. I'm Ellen. I use they, them, or she, her pronouns. Either or is great. I am a housing stability evaluator with King County DCHS. I work over here with Victoria. Before moving into evaluation, I was a veteran rapid rehousing case manager here in King County. So I've been in the homeless response system here in King County from both a direct service side and a data side. So I appreciate having been on both ends of that spectrum. I spend most of my time currently wrestling with HMIS data. It's a lot of monitoring and evaluation, a lot of performance improvement work. Specifically, I work a lot with the Health Through Housing Initiative, some work beyond that as well. And historically, a lot of work in the homeless response system. That work is a lot with the Regional Homelessness Authority now, but I have a lot of historic knowledge of that system as well. And I just wanted to say I wanted to join the committee because I'm interested in making sure our systems are performing in ways that are meaningful, actionable, and equitable. And really, I'm just excited to learn from everyone here, contribute where I can, and really think together about how we can use data to improve the system and better serve clients. And I'm really thrilled to have heard a bit of that discussion earlier about decolonizing data. So just really appreciate the perspective that folks are bringing here. So thanks for listening. Thanks for considering.
Thank you so much for that, Ellen. Okay. Lagia, look, please forgive me if I'm not pronouncing it right. Can you hear me?
I see anyone there.
She's actually in the attendees. Lagia, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Well, would you like to tell the members a little bit about yourself?
So, it's Lygia.
Lygia,
Sorry.
I'm so sorry about that. I apologize.
Yeah, no worries. I am the CEO and founder of the House of Ezra. It is a non-revolving door homeless shelter. My first site is in California, though. So I'm working in between here in California, hoping to set up one here, and two in Texas. And it's been really challenging, but it's been interesting to hear other perspectives of, different homeless shelters and their techniques and what they're doing there. So I'm interested in joining the System Performance Committee because I believe that we should continually evaluate whether the homeless system response system is responding and making lasting outcomes. I believe in long-term sustainability and giving them more resources and a pathway so that they do not return back to the streets and their different mindsets. I'm just here to learn, ask questions, and see what else I can collab with other people here. There's a lot of experience here that I don't have as far as the information systems, but I'm always willing to learn. The homeless shelter does keep me busy, but I do have a lot of free time to learn in which to collaborate with other people here. That's all I got.
Well, thank you so much for that, Lygia.
Lygia.
Lygia. Okay, you're gonna have to
Yeah,
work with me, but I promise you I'm gonna get it.
no worries.
Lygia. Okay. Shauna, I see you have your hand up.
Can we ask questions of the candidates right now, or do we do that later?
No, certainly you can ask questions.
Lygia, I'm just
Yes,
curious. You mentioned you have a shelter in California and you're the founder.
correct.
How long has it been operational?
It just got started
Oh,
over a year ago.
okay.
So in the beginning, it did keep me really, really busy, but it has been definitely um, quite the humbling journey with the program that I have set in place. It's an 8-week program, and of course, it doesn't always go as planned. So we spend 2 weeks on a different subject, then that's what we do. It's at their pace. I'm doing it right along with them, and it has been quite interesting. I tell you what.
Yeah. And you said you had plans to opening some in Washington and Texas. Do you have a timeline for that?
Soon as I get incorporated here, and I have to register with the Attorney General for the charitable trust again, and then I have to do that again in Texas, and that takes money. So right now I'm in the phase of applying for grants and funding for the location here that I have in mind, and then the 2 in Texas. So it's a lot of paperwork.
Okay, thank you.
Ruby, you have your hand up?
Yeah, and I just want to say thank you so much for coming today, both the candidates. I wanted to ask a quick question. You said when you say that you're applying for one here, you mean literally in King County, correct? I just wanted to be like, are you currently in King County and solidifying a location is what you were saying?
Who was that question to?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I want to make sure I say it right. Lygia?
Yeah, you said it right.
Okay.
Yes. So right now, I'm currently looking for, my theory is, the way I have it set up in California is an old hotel, that I acquired. And so, with my concept of a non-revolving door homeless shelter, that's kind of where I'm looking right now.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Mhm.
And I guess if you have questions for Ellen, this may be the time to ask. We didn't ask that right after, but if you have questions for Ellen, maybe you want to ask now.
And can we get Becky?
Yes, I'm getting ready to bring Becky in. I just wanted to see about the questions part. Okay. Becky, can you hear me?
Yes, I
Oh,
can hear you.
perfect. Perfect. All right. Well, I'll let you tell the members a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Becky Gilly. I use she, her pronouns. I have come to the last couple of meetings kind of just to see how it goes and see what the System Performance Committee does. And I've been thinking a lot ever since I saw the first one about deciding on the matrices on scoring and how to like balance King County and the System Performance Committee like goals and values with these new expectations of the NOFO coming from the federal government. And I've just been thinking so much about the challenge of doing that and how grateful I would be to be able to be a part of challenging and questioning the system that is either in place historically or trying to be involved. Anyway, that was some of the why I'm interested in being on the System Performance Committee. But the little bit about me is that I'm from Bellevue, Seattle. and I've been working in homeless outreach and housing for the last 10 years. After I got my MSW, I have like a clinical background with my LICSW. But I also have a lot of the experience just being on the ground working in South King County. And I spent 2019 to 2023 in Soto specifically doing a lot of outreach with folks on the street and being able to work towards people's goals. And that is where I found the most satisfaction and value, is being able to like be alongside people and not determining where folks are going, because that leads to my own burnout, and who wants to be told what to do anyways. But if I can help figure out the system, then that's what I want to be doing. And I'm right now, I'm working for the city of Kirkland as the human services supervisor, and overseeing our outreach and housing navigation coordinators. A little bit more than 2 minutes, but that's me.
Thank you, Becky, so much for that. Okay, Ruby, I see you have your hand up.
Yeah, just wanted to say thanks for sharing a little bit about yourself, and wanted to ask you, what was so you said that you had learned it's easier to walk with the people than, prescribe the solutions to them. And I just wanted to hear a little bit more about like how you kind of learned that journey, because I think it's an important thing to be aware of if you're doing case management. And so maybe you could share some insight for other people that might be listening, or me as a case manager.
Thank you. I think that's a really good question. The process of learning is, of course, comes with all the bumps and bruises of learning how to take yourself out of the equation a little bit and be, anyway, harm reduction and motivational interviewing are some of the tools that I've used, but mostly all of the learning I came from just being like, hey, how you doing? It's you are not looking great today. I saw you 2 weeks ago. I saw you yesterday. And how are you? Is there something you'd want to change? Are things going okay? Why? What's working for you? Trying to come at things from the strengths based instead of coming from the deficits. Why isn't this working for you? Why are you out here? Instead, what's working? What would you change? What do you enjoy? What are your goals? What would you like to see? I think just coming at relationship from the positive and optimistic, looking at the future together and having the hope and the faith and being able to hold sometimes that hope for somebody if they're not in that place that day, of feeling, hopeful and positive about working with this system that isn't set up to always help people. I don't know if that's so much recommendations, but that was my learning that I got. That's how I learned a lot of my skills and ability to be with people.
Yeah, no, thank you. I love that. And that's exactly the answer I was looking for. So thank you so much. It's just beautiful to hear that process is there, and I love that. So thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, well, if there isn't any more questions for any of the nominees, I guess we will go straight into voting. This is the first time that we've had multiple candidates that we're voting on, so this is going to be a little bit different for us, but here nor there, we are going to make it. So, I will go down the list as you guys present it to the committee here. And I'll just ask all in favor, say yay or nay or absence, of course. So members.
Curtis, can I ask some questions before we vote?
Absolutely.
Thank you. First of all, how many spots do we have open?
3.
We have 3 spots open. Okay. And but we had like 5 applications, 5 or 6, and only 3 came today.
We only have a maximum of 3 added on. So
Okay.
yes.
All right. And are we gonna have discussion, or are we just gonna
Well, and that's
if we're-
and I agree. I think we should have a discussion. I think that, in my opinion, I think the panelists should log off and then let the members have time to discuss. And then after that discussion, we can vote and then let them know what the outcome of that was. Now, that's how I see this. Are you guys all in agreement with that?
Yeah, I
with
think
that?
that's a
Yes.
logical. Yeah, that's a logical way to do it.
Logical things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
agree.
Thank you so much. So,
Thank you, Ellen and Becky and Legia.
yes. And
Thank you.
you all will be hearing from me shortly. Okay. So, thank you again for coming out and sharing your time with us today. We truly, truly appreciate that. And if you can go ahead and log off now, we would appreciate that. Thank you, Ellen. Okay. So, all right. So yes, they are all gone. Okay. So now members, let's open it up for discussion. Ruby, see your hand up, so I'll start because your hand, it looks, you're in the first place, in the first position, so we'll start with you.
Okay, go ahead, Sherry. You can start. I'm on the bus. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, so what is the deadline? Because I know that there were a few people interested in applying that asked about it. So what is the deadline? You know what I'm saying? Like, are we giving people like a deadline, or it's just like whoever does the applications and now we're gonna vote?
These applications, yeah, came in, some of them are.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Sorry, Sherry. Yeah, this is Daniel. I just wanted to share that, yes, I just looked at all the applications and compiled them. So you guys all have the most recent applicants, those 5.
Oh, okay.
And open applicants.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, pardon me, not open applicants. That doesn't make sense. These are all of the current individuals who actively are applicants for the 3 open positions.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Was there
said
someone that
5.
applied that you didn't see on the list, Sherry?
Yes. But I will ask them. I'll ask them. I could ask them. And then my other question was, you said 5, right? Or 3?
In your packet, you had 5 applicants, and there's only 3 spots. Oh, there's 6. Pardon me, 6 applicants and 3 spots open.
Okay, so those other folks didn't. So what about those other folks? And if 3 only came today?
We sent an email asking them to attend and confirm, and we just got those 3.
Got you. Okay. So what do we do with that if they didn't show up? That was kind of like their loss. Is that how we're doing it? Or I'm just asking questions. That's all.
I think that's what I'm hoping you guys can discuss. I mean, if that's something that you want to take into consideration. But they did turn in their application.
Okay, thank you.
And also something I think should be taken into consideration, although some of the candidates aren't here, I don't think that should be automatic terms for not them making it to the committee, because we never, in our communication, we never stated it's mandatory that you be here. So we shouldn't hold that against them. I just wanted to put that out there on the table. Okay, Shauna.
Yeah, well, I'll just start with discussion. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. I really think that both Ellen and Becky will bring a really fresh perspective to the committee. One being a city provider from a government. We don't have that I know of, other than like Daniel, who represents the RHA. Unless I'm mistaken, and if I am mistaken, I'm sorry. And Ellen working at King County and being involved in the Health for Housing, which, you know, our data supports. So I really like that. I'm a little, I like Lygia, but I'm concerned that she doesn't have any programming, or she's not really a Washington or King County stakeholder at this point. If we only had 3 applicants for 3 seats, that'd be different. But since we have 6 applicants for 3 seats, I mean, maybe we want to put a pause on her until she's a active stakeholder.
What does some of the other members feel about that? I think that that's a valid point.
I'll jump in because I have my hand up. I feel pretty similarly to Shauna on this. I do want to say that Ellen and I have worked together for the past 4 years, I think, and I wholly recommend her as a, you know, sort of replacement for my position. I also have some concerns about Lygia's lack of connection to the local homeless response community, and just some overall questions about the program models that she's operating that weren't really clear. And I also feel strange about not having clarity on the application process, whether folks are supposed to be here to introduce themselves, and sort of timelines on how applications work. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Victoria. Would some of the other committee members like to chime in terms of what they feel?
So do we have other applicants going to be attend, or this is they have the timeline is going to be end today?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Does other 2 do you say there's 5 applications? There's other 2 applicants going to be attend, or that's is this all opportunity of these 3 people today?
So out of the 5, only 3 made it. I'm not exactly sure what happened to the other 2, because 1 reached out and said they were going to be here, but they wasn't here. So I'm not exactly sure.
So they don't even send in emails or apologize or reschedule? Or the other 2?
No,
They missed.
I guess
Okay.
you're just going to base it on their application specifically at this point, since they wasn't able to be present to give an explanation.
Okay. And today is the last time of the interview with them, or the timeline is next week or other time? The other 2, I mean.
Well, today we had the expectations that we would be voting today for the potential new members.
Okay. So that's mean the other 2, they missed the opportunity. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, again, I wouldn't say that eliminates them automatically, no, because when we sent that communication out requesting their presence, it didn't state it's mandatory that you be here. We just put it blanketly. We're going to be voting, and we would love for you to have the opportunity to come in, introduce yourself to the members. So we can't hold that against them. That's not fair to hold that against them just because they're not present and we didn't make it mandatory.
Okay.
Would you agree with that?
Respectfully, I think this is the committee decision, and the committee should be having this good discussion. What are the thoughts of the committee members?
Well, I'd like to know when they were notified. You know, was it a few days ago? Was it last week? Was it 3 weeks ago? You know, if we have busy folks, that might have played into it.
Yeah, and I'm also wondering if what the whole process was, and I can't, because I literally am trying to think back to our last election, and I just want to make sure that we're following that precedent there as well, or at least they're talking about what that precedent was, because I don't recall.
Hi, this is Daniel. I can talk about that process. So a few things. Curtis, could you mute up just for a second there? A few things. The COC Advisory Board, which we have members of that COC Advisory Board here today, you all have a selection committee. You did not create a selection committee that was universal for all of the subcommittees of the COC. So it really kind of goes back to you all to discuss that. If you want to hold off on a vote and you want to look at that process and make sure that it's followed, that's absolutely a privilege that you have. But what I'm going to describe is the following. We have a list we have an application that's universal. Anyone can apply and they can select any committee or work group they want to be a part of. The 6 applicants that you received in your packet did so. In the packet, that is the most recent cohort of applicants that we have as of July. That's what you received. And then we sent out a subsequent email asking them if they would like to attend today's meeting, they can. And then they can have 1 to 2 minutes to talk about why they want to be on the committee. And then you all have the applications where they answer the questions that we have that are hard-coded for each applicant. And hopefully you all read that. But if you didn't, I mean, think about that, but I'll leave it there.
Yeah, and I just wanted to ask, I think Shauna had mentioned or had asked this question as well. When were they asked or notified to be here today? Because that was one question I had, and then I'll go into my next one. Sorry, thank you.
Yeah, we sent that out last week. I think it was a Monday or a Tuesday.
Okay. I just wanted to say that I think it would be unfair for us to not vote for the people that were told there was going to be a vote done today. I do want to say that I think that's something the System Performance Committee and the COC board can come together on and figure out exactly what our process is for elections, either committee wide or work group wide, or if that's something we want the committees to do. I would like to see consistency there, but I do think we should at least honor our word to the folks that were up today. I also wanted to say, I think it could be helpful for someone to be, putting their foot out there and wanting to learn the system that is localized here if they're coming to be a service provider here, just offering that bit of information. But I also see the other side as well. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Ruby. Shauna?
So if I understand correctly, kind of what I'm hearing is that instead of, because in the past we've only had 1 or 2 people at a time, so we've just voted on that one person or the slate of both of them. But maybe because we have 6 candidates who were not required to be here and 3 positions, and I agree with whomever said, we just told 3 people they'd be voting today. We'd be voting today. So what if we vote on each individual separately? And then if all 3 make it, then we don't have any more seats. And if all 3 don't make it, then we still have an open seat for these other 3 candidates. Does that sound equitable and fair?
This is Tamara.
Well, to me.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Tamara. Victoria says, I think that sounds reasonable.
I second that. This is Tamara.
Yeah, I would third that or fourth that if it's a motion.
Okay, so are you all saying that to go ahead and vote, right? And then if one don't get it, two don't get it, then that's the open seat. But what if all three get it? And then we have the other people
I think
that did.
if all three get it, then they are still candidates for the next time. The rest of them are candidates the next time we have openings. I mean, I don't know.
This might be a good policy to look into or to refine.
Most definitely, most definitely.
Yeah, I definitely think it needs refining. I think I think it makes the most sense to vote on the 6 candidates today. I'm open to leaving anyone who doesn't make it on today, in the vote or not in the vote for the next candidate round or something. Because I do think that we had that classification where we were going to have open running application periods. So maybe that would just be the next round of applications. Maybe that is a separate conversation, but I think we should vote on the ones that were applied to and told they were going to be voted on today.
So you want us to vote on all 6 or the 3 that attended today?
Yeah, I think I would like to personally hear from the other 3 people, but I don't want to dishonor what we've said. And so I don't know how to make that reconcile, but however we can make that happen.
This is Tamara. I think because I think and again, I'm not sure what the consensus is, but I think we should be voting on the presentations today or the people who presented today. And because we didn't have the opportunity to hear from the other 3, they, I think, should be set aside for the next round, or because we may have another opportunity to vote again on whatever remaining seats that don't get filled today, we can bring those other 3 in to represent maybe at the next meeting. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. I'm just thinking out loud, but I think it'd be fair to give everyone the same opportunity, but it may not happen at the same time.
Yeah.
But whoever presented today should get the due respect or whatever it is, like to not delay or put them off. So that, I guess that's the only thing.
Agreed.
Yes. Agreed. That's what I was envisioning. Thank you, Tamara.
You betcha.
Can I make a motion that we do that?
Yeah, please do.
Second.
So I disagree because I don't know. I mean, I understand that that it was said, but it should have been talked to us. So I disagree. But I mean, so we can put it to the vote, but I'm gonna disagree with that. Because I feel like everybody should be here if we're gonna vote that put in the application. And I understand about, because I don't think that's fair that because they didn't come. So now if everybody vote for those 3, then they're gonna have to wait till the next time stuff come open. So that's my opinion.
What would you suggest?
I mean, I think, honestly, I know that you are looking at the fact that the word was given out to them, and I see that too. But I also think it's not fair because I believe that those other 3 applicants knew that, like, we're gonna vote today. Because if I'm wrong, I thought, Curtis, you said you told them to come and meet the committee. So that's 2 different things besides meeting the committee, and you're gonna be voted in today.
That is correct. The only one that was under the assumption that we were going to be voting today is really Becky, because Becky was here last month and then we didn't do the voting last month. So we told her we would be voting this month.
I think that that's a lot of clarification there. Thank you for that. What I would suggest then, and I'm open to ideas here, is if we have the vote on Becky, who has been very respectful and come back twice, and we need to respect her time. And then we do our due diligence to reach out to the other 3 candidates that weren't here today. And then we refine this process in the future so we know exactly how we're doing it each time.
And I agree with that.
Point of order, sorry. It was moved and seconded that we vote on the 3 people that were here today. And then if there's an open position, then we would invite the other 3 to come next month. So before we change course, we need to vote on that motion.
Do you want to restate the exact motion that we're voting on?
Sure, I think I made the motion, and so I made a motion that we vote on the 3 candidates who presented today, and then determine after that fact how many open positions remain and whether an additional vote needs to occur.
Seconded again.
Oh, okay. So just really quick, I was writing. So who brought the motion?
Victoria.
Okay, Victoria, and who second?
Shauna.
Okay. All right.
And then I have a quick question. So can there be 2 motions in? Or no? Like
Sherry,
if
I think what we want to do then is if you wanted to not have this motion pass.
No. Yeah, Sherry, if you don't like this motion, you can vote no.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying if can we have, I guess we would only have that one motion, right? Because unless this one passes, correct?
I think we have to vote on whether we're going to vote on these 3 people. So if you don't want to vote on these 3 people at this time, you can say no.
Right. No, I understand that. I thought before we've had 2 motions to where if we didn't want to do have this motion, who's going to vote for this and then who's going to vote for the next motion. So I was just trying to get clarification around that. But if we're just doing the one, that's fine.
Okay, so shall we call the vote? Or
Okay. I will go down the list, say yay, nay. Tamara.
are we voting for each candidate or the whole slate?
For the 3 candidates today.
I don't want to vote for the entire slate. I'd rather vote by individual.
Well, yeah, we're gonna vote individually, but I'm just saying, the motion was vote on the 3 candidates presented today. That's how I interpret the motion. Did I interpret it wrong?
That was my intention, yes. That we vote on individually on each of the 3 candidates who presented today.
Does that clear that up for you, Tamara?
So yeah, so we're voting individually, not the like slate as a whole. We're gonna vote individually based on the
we're
candidate.
not, yeah, this is Daniel. I'm just gonna step in here. We're not voting on candidates right now. We're voting on whether or not we want to hold a vote for the 3 that showed up, Tamara.
Okay, sorry. Okay, yes.
Thank you. Sherry?
Nay.
Nay. Ruby?
I think she fell off.
Oh, okay. We'll come back to her. And Marvin's not here. Okay. Christina is not here either.
Did we lose
Um,
quorum?
We might have, now that Ruby's not here, because we had 6. So yes, we have lost quorum. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay. Daniel, can you call Ruby really quick to see?
Yeah, let me.
We need 6 for quorum.
Yes.
I'm counting 6.
You counting 6? 1, 2.
Shauna, Mustafa, Lauren. Is Lauren?
Lauren's
I'm
not a member.
I'm not a committee member.
Oh,
Lauren's
okay.
not a committee.
That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, we only have 5 committee members here. So yeah, we need one more.
So, before I go, there's 2 things I need to do. Now,
Curtis, I don't have Ruby's contact phone number. Let me see if I can find one. It's not my phone.
Well, it's 3:56. And how many do we need? One more to make quorum or 2?
1.
Ruby line is off right now, so I can get a hold of Ruby. I can text Christina.
Or even maybe Marvin, he said that he would come back. He had to go to a meeting, I believe he said, but he said he would join back in.
I'll send an email to each one of the missing members. See if it.
This is Tamara. I'm going to try to propose that if we're not able to get folks back online in the next 2 minutes, we will have to motion to adjourn and delay the vote till the next meeting, unless we choose to have a special session, which I don't know if we've ever done as an SBC. I can't remember. But I also want to talk about culture, and the work that we're doing cannot operate separately from our relationships. And right now, what I'm observing in our community is like an exacerbation of silos rather than a closing of silos. And that disturbs me on several levels. And so I want to have these conversations. I want to set aside time to actually talk about things that aren't technically business related and actually focus on building relationships so that the infrastructure that we all operate from is rooted in well-being and justice and equity. Because how we're operating just it's not productive. And that's just been my observation of life. So take that for what it's worth, but I do think we should have a conversation about culture change, especially as we're reviewing these policies and thinking about ways to improve and enhance. We should be talking also about how can we make these policies more human and humanize the policies that we operate from. Because it's too technical, it's too rules driven, and frankly, I don't abide by that. And so that's why I want to really call for another co-chair who can actually provide that kind of leadership and structure that I know I'm too radical can ever hold as a system co-chair. I want to be a support person to this committee. So just my closing thoughts.
Oh, okay, we have quorum. Ruby is back in. We have
So
quorum.
sorry about that. Thank you. I'm sorry
Nope.
about that.
No worries, it happens. Okay, so now that we're back, okay, now that we got quorum established again. Okay, Ruby, I was calling on, were you voting yay or nay for us voting on the three candidates that were present today?
I think
So this is not an individual vote, it's collectively, and then we'll vote on them individually. But are you in agreement with voting for the three candidates?
Just have
The
Christina.
process.
yes. Yeah. Yeah, the process. I understand. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, Marvin's not here, Christina's not here. Is Ben here? No, Ben's not here. Victoria?
Yes.
Yes. Mustafa?
Yes, but not individually, not all of three of them. So, but the process, yes.
Okay. And Shauna?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the motion passes unanimously.
No,
I don't think,
Sherry,
yeah.
Sherry voted nay, so it's 5-1.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, 5-1. Okay. Yes, so 5-1. So, but that still passes though, right? Yes. So the vote still passes.
So let's move into voting for the candidate.
We just lost Mustafa. But I don't think we can vote.
Oh my goodness.
I'm really sorry for delaying this today, you guys. My phone died. I really apologize.
Not your fault.
Yeah, it's not your
That
fault.
happens.
It happens. Yeah. I'm sure Mustafa will, I'm sure he must be having some technical difficulties as well, but I'm sure he'll log back in.
He said in the chat that he will step out. Thanks, folks. So I think he's gone.
Or? Mm. Oh, step out. Thanks, folks. Oh.
So this is Daniel. I'm gonna just kind of interject here. We're at time. Tamara as the pro tem. I'm kind of leaving it up to you here. I think you can motion to extend, or we would adjourn for today and pick up business where we left off on the next one.
Yeah, given because we don't even have quorum now and we are at time, I propose that we use the next meeting to start off with the vote of the individual members and then proceed with filling whatever remaining seats may or may not be available after that. But I do motion that we conclude the meeting or adjourn the meeting unless there are any other points of discussion.
Can I put this out now? Because we told the candidates that were here today.
Victoria has her hand raised.
Go, Vic.
I was just going to say you might want to do some outreach to the additional candidates again to either confirm their continued interest in the position and reiterate the importance of attending the next meeting so that more people can be in attendance as needed. This is my last meeting. Wish you all luck on the election and take care.
Does that mean there would be 2 seats open then or will there be additional seat open, 4 seats then at the next one?
No, it'll be 3. We were incorporating Victoria not being on the committee.
Okay, thanks for that clarification. Thank you, guys.
All right, with that, I think we will adjourn. Thanks everyone and for bearing with me.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everybody. Thank you, Tamara.
Yeah.
Good job, Tamara.
Oh, thank you. You're sweet. Bye.
All right.